thank you so much for joining me today, Thomas. Would you like to do a brief introduction of yourself, please?
Sure. So hi, I'm Thomas and I'm 16 and I live in Nottingham. I'm currently studying at the Purcell school, which is in Bushey, and I'm in year 12. I also go to junior academies on Saturdays, so that's sort of an extra musical thing, I suppose. I started playing piano when I was 4, and I've also recently started playing the clarinet as a second study. So that was about 2 years ago.
Great, thank you. So Thomas won an age group first prize in the competition this year. So first of all, congratulations to you. So how was your experience in the competition this year?
Well, it was definitely very eye-opening. A really great learning experience. I think this is my first ever competition which was held online. So I learnt a lot from video recording. So I also never actually needed to record anything on the piano formally before. Usually it's just mainly for my own use, such as listening back to my practicing. But this time I had to actually learn quite a lot about how to set up microphones and record, and how to use recording software and audio interfaces and things like that. So that was very interesting. Also, as this competition was held in the holidays, some holidays, because I'm at school at the moment, I actually had limited access to my piano teacher. So I learned quite a lot about self-studying and how to sort of develop my pieces on their own without that much external help. So overall, I think it was quite a fun learning experience.
Great. I'm glad that there was some takeaways and benefits. As you said, it was your first time recording for something sort of formally. Do you have any sort of advice or tips gathered from this experience that you will use for future sort of experiences or share with others? What do you think helps to make a better recording? What is the efficient way to do it?
Well, I think in general, overall, I think it's mainly about the sound that you want to sort of record. Another thing, I suppose, is the lighting was quite worked on, I suppose, too. Although that's obviously not as important as the audio, which is mainly what the judges were listening to. So
yes, I agree, and I remember we gave out some advice as well in terms of how to make a better recording. Yes, the sound, make sure there's no background noises, well, limit it as much as you can. And lighting, yes, I agree, very important as well. When did you first start playing the piano, Thomas?
I first, when I was 4, yes, and I've been playing since I was 4, yeah.
So it's been quite a while. Now you're 16, so it's a big part of your life, especially now you're at the Purcell School and also Junior Academy. With music playing such a prominent role in your daily life, I mean, how are you arranging your time on a, let's say, weekly basis? How do you make sure, because I guess you have quite a lot of techniques and pieces to go through and a lot of knowledge to learn. How are you arranging your time around all of these different tasks?
Okay, so, well, at Purcell, I board, so I live in school. So I guess there's actually the reduced time of traveling, which means you actually technically save a lot of time. But it's also quite hard to balance your academic work with your music playing, I suppose, because you need to spend a lot of time practicing, but then there's also GCSEs and A-levels that you've got to study for. So throughout the day, throughout the day from Monday to Friday, we have freeze breaks, a few hour breaks between maybe your academic lessons where you can practice. And we also have two music lessons with our teachers every week. So and sometimes they run over the academic lessons, but the music lessons always take priority. In the evening, that's usually when we do most of our academic homework, I suppose. So for about an hour and a half, there's a dedicated sort of slot where everyone has to do homework. So I suppose that's, yeah, there we go.
Are you taking your A levels next year?
I just started the course this year.
Okay, I see. So which subjects have you chosen?
So at Purcell Music, actually, I do music as a pre-U course, technically not A-level, sort of like a Cambridge pre-U music. And I also take 3 A-levels, so history, chemistry, and math.
Oh, lovely. That's a great combination. So in your music learning journey so far, I don't know, maybe there is a piece of advice from a teacher or from a visiting teacher on a master class, or something that you sort of gathered along the way yourself. Is there one piece of advice that you will keep giving to yourself, or that you will keep giving to other young musicians that you think really help you to keep going journey?
That's a good question. I think, could I say more than one?
Of course.
Okay. So I suppose first thing is practicing, how you practice, I suppose. Well, you've always obviously got to start off very slowly when you're practicing. And although when you first get a new piece, you can maybe quickly play through it to see what it sounds like. But it's happened a lot of times with me as when I've just kept on just trying to playing it at tempo and never actually focusing on the details such as phrasing and articulation, which I sometimes miss out on. I also heard this story about Rachmaninoff. An author actually came to interview him at his house, and when he was standing outside before he was about to knock, he heard Rachmaninoff playing a Chopin etude really, really, really slowly, like extremely slowly. He like played a bar like every 30 seconds. That's obviously quite exaggerated, but I think it just shows how important slow practicing is.
Yes, that's very important. Slow practice. I agree. So, Thomas, I mean, with music playing such an important role in your life, do you find time to do other things? Do you pursue other interests and hobbies as well?
Yeah, definitely. I do a lot of reading, and I also go and play football. At Purcell, actually, I pretty much play football every day as a sort of daily exercise. I suppose it kind of balances out when you're sitting down all the time at the piano or studying, I suppose. So that's quite fun.
Lovely. Can you maybe introduce to us, maybe in 3 words, how would you describe your life at Purcell?
Well, definitely busy, rewarding, and probably quite exciting.
That's fantastic. As a young musician living, I mean, you're living in Nottingham, but you normally during term time you'd be at Purcell School boarding, and Purcell is not that far from London. So I've heard that at Purcell you have a lot of performance opportunities, not only at Purcell but also in quite a lot of the concert halls in London. Can you maybe introduce to the audience a little bit about what it's like to be a young musician living in England, studying at Purcell, and also being so close to London? What opportunities are there, and what do you enjoy doing?
I think At Purcell, you are definitely not going to be bored. Let's say there's a lot of very rewarding musical opportunities. There are definitely a lot of concerts and performance opportunities that you can have actually every day. I think every day there are lunchtime concerts. So if you want to perform a new piece, you can almost perform it maybe the next day at a lunchtime concert, which is quite informal, but also it's a great practicing. It's very good for practicing your performance technique. There are lots of external concerts, as you said, in London. At Purcell, we usually host auditions, and if you get through the audition, you can go and perform in London. For example, actually, there was a Wigmore Hall concert which took place maybe a week ago, and that was really good. I'm actually performing in St. John Smith Square actually in December as a Purcell external concert, so it's very good.
Yeah, amazing. That's fantastic. So let us know about maybe nearer the time about your performance. We can share it on our platform so that whoever is in London, I'm sure they will love to come and hear you play. Yes, no, I agree. I think London is really, we're very spoiled, right, in London. And also, if you ever want to watch a live performance, there's always, I mean, during normal times, not pandemic, there's always an amazing live performance going on somewhere in London on a daily basis. So that's fantastic. So Thomas, I know you've prepared a piece to perform for us today. Would you like to tell us what you're going to perform today, please?
So I'm going to be playing Liszt's Paganini Etude No. 6.
Sure, yes, ready when you are. Thank you very much, Thomas. Are you playing this piece in December?
Yeah. Along with Bartok's Suite Opus 14.
Oh, fantastic! I wish I could be. I wish I'm not. I probably won't be able to return to London in December. I wish I could go. So let us know how you get on. Great. Thank you so much, Thomas, for your time and for sharing with us. Let's keep in touch and let us know how you get on with your studies and your next steps.
No problem. Sure.
Thank you, Thomas. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You
Bye-bye.
All right.